Right now at 10, flag on the play. Skirmishes occur following the Webb City Joplin football game Friday night. Plus,
anime lovers from across the 4 states are coming together to help out a local nonprofit. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with the details.
also, we're taking you to the Fall Festival in Pittsburgh and honoring a hero. A Missouri high school honors one of its graduates after he was killed during Thursday's attack in Kabul.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
An incident occurred following the Webb City Joplin football game Friday night in Webb City. Now, there are a number of stories passing around on social media. However, KOAM has been able to confirm some of what happened last night. Now, in this video from Twitter, members of the Joplin football team can be seen running down the field with the Eagle flag while being chased by members of the Webb City football team. Now, after the group gets together, a referee throws a flag and the group is separated. At this time, we have not been able to confirm the events that immediately followed what you see in the video. However, representatives from both districts did provide some information. Justin Crawford with the Joplin School District told us in a phone call that after the game, emotions were high, and in excitement, a couple of Joplin players got carried away in their celebration. The district wants to ensure they display good sportsmanship and will follow school policies as appropriate to handle the situation. He adds that both districts have communicated with each other and are working things out. Amanda Robbins with Webb City also replied to our request for information, telling us, quote, "We are really still investigating the events from last night, taking inventory of district property and determining what events actually occurred opposed to rumor." She added the district should have a better understanding of the entire situation on Monday. Now, Justin Crawford added that after speaking with administrators with the district, to their knowledge, no Joplin students were injured following the game. Now, we also received a response from the Webb City Police Department. Webb City Police Chief Donald Melton tells us the department was dispatched to 3 skirmishes on the parking lot of the high school football stadium after the game. Now, Chief Melton says officers working security at the game were able to de-escalate the situations. However, the chief added they are investigating an alleged assault that occurred off campus in the area of the high school over a parking complaint. Chief Melton adds they'll be contacting the district on Monday to see if there are any other incidents they have not yet been made aware of. A one-vehicle crash in Cherokee County has claimed the life of an Alabama man. The Kansas Highway Patrol says just after 11 Friday morning, 79-year-old Clonnie Smith of Coker, Alabama, was driving east on Baghdad Road when his car left the roadway. The rear end struck a tree, causing the car to spin 180 degrees and crash into another tree. Still a pretty toasty day out there. I've said toasty, you've said toasty. Toasty describes it. Nick Kelly joining us.
Yeah, if there's any consolation, Chris, Mother Nature has been slowly inching down on the thermostat with each passing day. Certainly a nice change of pace after we were stuck in the mid-90s all week long. Still hot, sure, but 93 certainly better than where we have been after we started at 73 this morning. Nothing on the radar network. A nice change of pace after I was able to keep an eye on at least some isolated showers, mainly our southern counties, to start the evening out. Our next storm system, though, causing severe weather out in parts of the northern plains and upper Midwest. By the time it gets here, though, it won't be in the form of severe weather, but more scattered storms for us and a chance for us to get out of the 80s, or out of the 90s for that matter. Most of us are in the upper 70s to lower 80s now, but we'll drop to 73 first thing in the morning. Morning is dry before we see isolated and scattered storms pick up during the afternoon. Highs topping out around 89, Chris. We'll see how long this drop in temperatures will hold on for the week ahead here in just a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. Anime and cosplay lovers gathered for the first ever JOMO Con in Joplin today. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky tells us what it's all about and how it's helping out a local nonprofit.
Lovers of anime, cosplay, and other nerdy content gathered virtually on Saturday. The first ever JOMO Con was held at Pennington Station in Joplin.
It's a stream for people to just log in and enjoy some nerdy content. Like we talk about anime, talk about ramen, we talk about cosplay. And in the process, we're raising funds for a charity that we've partnered with.
Panelists led presentations on a variety of topics surrounding anime, which were live streamed on Twitch.
In my panel, we watch one of the most terrible anime movies I've ever seen. and we just kind of do a Mystery Science Theater 3000-esque riffing of that movie, making comments on what's going on and just kind of the idiosyncrasies that are going on the actual film. So it's just a good time, and hopefully folks are enjoying that too.
Proceeds from the live-streamed event went towards Hearts and Hammers in Joplin.
In this case, we have a common goal of trying to make or raise money for the Hearts and Hammers to help have people in lower income housing help fix their houses up.
Ultimately, event organizers hope this live stream added to the anime-loving community in Joplin and the surrounding area.
I'm convinced that Joplin is full of otakus and nerds, or whatever you want to call them, just people who are really passionate about this kind of content we're doing. There's a lot of other events around here that have already been doing stuff like this for these people, and we just wanted to join that community, add to it.
JOMO Con organizers hope to continue this event and support a new charity every year. In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Anyone interested in getting more involved with JOMOCon can reach out at their website. That's jomocon.org. JOMO PRIDEFEST returned to Joplin for another fun-filled celebration of the local LGBTQ+ community. The event featured a ton of activities and attractions, including vendors, a pride march, drag shows, magic and comedy shows, a costume contest, and a lot more. Now, despite today's hot late summer weather, it didn't stop hundreds of four-staters from coming on out for a day of fun filled with pride-themed activities. And the fun's not over yet. PrideFest continues tomorrow with a drag brunch, and that will be held at Blackthorn Pizzeria. Other Sunday highlights will include a Pride in the Park celebration at Landreth Park, a Pride Pet costume contest, and even an outro dance party in the park. Well, fall is just around the corner, and Pittsburgh is celebrating early. The Barn at Timber Cove hosted the 2021 Fall Festival in Pittsburgh. Admission was free for everybody with the theme to shop local business. The festival provides the opportunity for local businesses to show various crafts and foods to the community. With the ongoing pandemic, some vendors look to the festival to get new customers.
A lot of these vendors were extremely affected by everything that's been going on pretty much the past 2 years. So they had a lot of shows be canceled. There's a lot of people who have customers come back every time we have events out here. A lot of my vendors have been with me from the beginning, and I do get new vendors every show. So it's great for building their clientele and be able to see some of our community members come out and support other people.
Goodies and snacks were provided to attendees, and several food trucks were in attendance as well, such as Ghetto Tacos and Blue Spoon. Muter says there will be a holiday-themed festival coming up in December. A Missouri community is mourning the loss of a U.S. Marine. Lance Corporal Jared SCHMITZ was among those killed in Thursday's bombing incident near the Kabul airport. A moment of silence was held in his honor this weekend at his high school. Russell Kinsall reports.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, the freedom we enjoy as Americans isn't free.
Some may not have known until the announcement was made that 2019 Fort Zumwalt South graduate Jared SCHMITZ was killed in Afghanistan just a day earlier. The news hit some hard.
It's just so sad.
But when they learned that there would be a moment of silence for Lance Corporal SCHMITZ, parents and grandparents of students told me they were glad.
I think it's wonderful. We need to honor our troops and give him the credit that he's due for serving his country and dying for his country.
SCHMITZ's family says their son worked hard to achieve his goal of becoming a Marine. He'd been stationed in Jordan before being sent along with thousands of others to provide security at the airport in Kabul during a massive airlift of Americans and Afghans. Dr. Kevin Keltner is principal at the school. He said students who go on to serve their country in the military reflect well on the school.
We're very proud of those young men and women who decide to make that commitment and wish them nothing but the very best as they head off and do some very, very difficult tasks for us.
Before the Fort Zumwalt South's first game of the season, everything stopped for a moment of silence in honor of a former student.
Lance Corporal Jared SCHMITZ and the ultimate price he paid in service to our nation.
According to Dr. Keltner, a moment of silence was observed at other Fort Zumwalt School District football games tonight.
It's the very least we can do to recognize the service of our men and women who protect the freedoms we enjoy, and in Jared's situation, to honor him for making that ultimate sacrifice this evening.
We are incredibly grateful for Jared's service to our nation. Please keep the SCHMITZ family in your thoughts and prayers during this difficult time.
One day after Thursday's fatal bombing in Afghanistan, the U.S. Central Command says the military has conducted a successful airstrike on an ISIS-K planner. The military says the unmanned airstrike appears to have killed the planner in the Nangarhar province of Afghanistan. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Private Lawrence Schilling served in the Army during World War II, his hometown, Deerfield, Missouri. We're proud to recognize Private Lawrence Schilling, tonight's four-state hero. And of course, remember to learn more about other heroes and nominate one of your own. Just head over to our website, that's KOAMNewsNow.com. We're preparing for Ida. Still ahead on the KOAM News at 10, time is not on the side of the people of New Orleans who are scrambling to get ready just hours before Hurricane Ida roars ashore.
Within one day, I totally
Time is not on the side of the people of New Orleans who are scrambling to get ready ahead of Hurricane Ida. CBS's Omar Villafranca is there.
The governor is urging people to leave if they can, but if they're going to stay, if they're going to hunker down, he wants them in place by midnight tonight. And people seem to be listening. They're getting ready for the storm and the aftermath.
On the streets of New Orleans, the sound before the fury. Business owners boarding up their windows, the plywood marked with the names of the hurricanes they've survived. Bumper-to-bumper traffic clogged the roads and highways out of New Orleans as people try to move out of the dangerous and powerful storm's path. Mayor LaToya Cantrell warned today the time to leave is now.
Prepared for damaging wind, power outages, heavy rain, tornadoes. What I am told is that this storm in no way will be weakening.
People riding out the storm stocked up on the basics, if they were still on store shelves. There were runs on food, water, and other necessities just hours before Ida makes landfall. Gas lines were also long, as many filled up their cars and topped off canisters for their generators. Sandbags lined the streets.
Your window of time is closing.
Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards.
We can sum it up by saying this will be one of the strongest hurricanes to hit anywhere in Louisiana since at least the 1850s.
In St. Bernard Parish, residents on the coast weren't taking any chances. Many have already moved to higher ground and pulled their boats out of the Gulf on what would normally be a busy day on the water.
Nobody was out there shrimping today and opened their shrimp season, so that ought to tell you. And when I got in this morning or late last night, at 4 o'clock, about 75–80% of the boats already left.
Mayor Cantrell says they're getting ready for a response after the storm. They're working with the National Guard to set up a shelter at the convention center. The governor also said that there's buses and coaches that are being spread across the state to come into New Orleans to move people if need be.
TikTok ban. Later on the KOAM News at 10, a new ban from TikTok over a viral summer challenge.
But first, we'll have the latest on Ida, on its track and its strength, and our forecast when we come back.
Within the 28th through September 5th.
We got quite a bit to get to, so we're just going to dive right in with our time lapse from Indigo Sky to start things off as always. Looked like a nice day for sure. Nice sunrise, but then we had quite a bit of cloud cover during the afternoon hours, bubbling up, working over the casino grounds outside of Seneca, Missouri. Despite the cloud cover, though, we had to end this weekend like it's been all week long, on a pretty hot note. We had highs between 94 and 96 all week long. We dropped to 93 today, but keep in mind, it hasn't been a really hot month in the broad scheme of things. In fact, half of the month as of this date, still below normal in terms of highs. But the heat and humidity today kept most of us dry during the morning hours. Then we saw some isolated showers in our very far southern counties to start the evening out. But you saw as they tried to work north, they really had a hard time holding together. So they fizzled apart. They were no more once we hit 8 o'clock. We're still looking okay right now on the radar and outside from 7th and Rangeline from the east side of Joplin. Still warm and a bit muggy though. 81 degrees in Joplin, feels like 84 with the dew point in the upper 60s. Some spots are falling back already in the mid to upper 70s, but a few spots closer to Joplin and Pittsburgh trying to hold on near 80, along with the humidity still trying to make it feel like the mid 80s in a few spots. But everyone's trending downward, thankfully, in the right direction as we drop off to 73 overnight. We don't have anything going on here, but you saw during before the commercial break, the big weather story. Ida, latest stats here, still has it as a category 2 with 105-mile-per-hour sustained winds, but this has nothing but hot, if not very warm, Gulf water to fuel Ida before it makes landfall near the Louisiana coast, either late Sunday morning or into Sunday afternoon. At the very least, that's a major hurricane, a 3 or a 4. Again, this I have not seen since Katrina of 2005, and to add insult to injury, it's going to make landfall on the 16th anniversary, which is tomorrow. So many thoughts and prayers to those that are battening down and holding things down. But in terms of what it's going to do for us, Ida, not a lot. The worst of the impacts will stay south and east of the region, but still we will have moisture from the Gulf to work with as our cold front to the north starts to sneak in tomorrow, as our jet stream also decides to sink in as well, helping to push that front in. Not all the way through though, but as long as that front's around for tomorrow, we'll just start things off with a quiet Sunday morning, lows dropping off to 73, but the partly cloudy skies pick back up during the afternoon. The building warmth and humidity will allow for scattered rain and thunderstorms this time around. Still, some spots will be dry while others get to cash in on some of these rain chances. But 73 in the morning, 85 by noon, afternoon highs right around 89 degrees. This front sticks around through Monday and even into Tuesday before it heads back to the north. So as a result, some spots may struggle to see a drop while others could be seeing a 1/10 of an inch to 1/2 inch. Maybe a couple heavier pockets of rain could try to push some amounts over an inch. But once we get to Tuesday, Chris, that front shoots back to the north. We go back to 91 on Wednesday and then into the mid-90s, certainly by this time next Saturday. In the short term, though, we will enjoy at least a short break from the 90s with highs around 88 or 89.
Yeah, we'll take that brief break and a little bit of rain if we can get it.
Absolutely.
Nick, thank you so much. Danny Terzer joining us now with sports. The Class 2 defending champs open their season today.
The Lamar Tigers are in action at home this evening. Highlights are coming up. Plus, McDonald County hosts QUAPAW in their season opener. That and more next.
Quarters.
High school softball in Missouri is underway. The McDonald County Mustangs open up their season at home. McDonald County hosting QUAPAW to kick off their season. In the first, Nevaeh Dodson gets it through the gap for a 2-run single. Carly Cooper and Reagan Myrick score. Then bases loaded for Caitlin Townsend. She rips it into the corner. It stays fair. 2 more runs come across. The Mustangs put up 7 in the first. The Pitt State commit Madeline McCall lets nothing by today. I mean that literally. She tosses a perfect game, 6 innings and 15 strikeouts. Late in the game here, Cooper ends this one early, off the back fence for a triple. She scores off the error. The Mustangs win their season opener in shutout fashion, 10-0 over the Wildcats.
Honestly, I didn't realize it was a perfect game until the end. I was just focused on pitching strikes. This was a great game to start off our season because we started off not so great in our jamboree, but this one we came out and we were ready.
The reigning state champs have waited an extra day to begin their football season. The Lamar Tigers begin their second season under head coach Jared Beshore today. The Lamar Tigers are hosting Springfield Catholic. In the first quarter, Austin Wilkerson breaks a few tackles, a long run into the end zone. The first points of the game, 6-0 Tigers. Later, Logan Crockett, deep in Lamar's own territory, breaks away and finds some space on the outside. He's free into the end zone. Lamar up 26-0. Quinn Northrup gives up an interception here. It's Wilkerson making the defensive play for Lamar this time. The Tigers dominate 46-0 is the final. Preseason action is wrapping up in the NFL this weekend. The Chiefs took the field at Arrowhead for their third and final game on Friday. Kansas City hosted Minnesota. Patrick Mahomes slings it over the top to Tyreek Hill for a 35-yard touchdown to start the scoring. Later in the first, Mahomes A short pass here to Kelsey, who falls into the end zone. Mahomes finishes 8 for 9 with 117 yards. Shane Buechele now for Kansas City. A perfect pass to Marcus Kemp for the score. And then Derek Gore grabs the pass behind the line of scrimmage. He'll take it 56 yards into the end zone. Chiefs win 28-25 to go undefeated in the preseason.
Having those tight ends on the field that can run and can run block and they can catch, and then the offensive line that we've built here and how they've been able to really run the ball, I think it's going to put defenses in some very, very tough positions because they have to either put a lot of big people on the field to stop the run, or they have to find a way to stop those guys like Noah, Blake, Travis, and Jody, who can all catch the ball like a receiver.
In Major League Baseball, Kansas City on the uptick as of late. They are currently in the middle of a 4-game series out in Seattle and coming off a 12-inning win on Friday. Tonight, it's Game 3 of 4. Whit Merrifield takes the second pitch of the game deep to left field. Orioles jump out on top early. In the 5th, Salvador Perez adds to the Royals' lead. He's homered in 4 straight. Tonight, he got his 37th of the season. That's good for second most in the league. Then Kyle Seager lines it to right center. Laying out to make the play is Hunter Dozier. The final inning, Cam Gallagher gets an RBI single. The Royals win 4-2, their 3rd straight off the Mariners. St. Louis also on the road in Pittsburgh, each team with a win in the series so far. Tonight, the Cards offense comes alive, a huge 13-0 shutout win. Edmundo Sosa goes 4 for 6 with 2 triples and 5 RBI. Adam Wainwright pitches 7 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts.
Not too bad for games. I mean, talk about McDonald County and Lamar. I mean, they just were going at it today.
Lots of big shutouts today. Some exciting stuff for the weekend.
Absolutely. Danny, thank you so much. We're going to be right back. Well, you might be familiar with this summer's viral craze, the Milk Crate Challenge. People on social media stacking milk crates in a pyramid and trying to climb them like stairs. Well, now the dangerous challenge has been banned by the app that gave it life. TikTok deleted search results for the hashtag Milk Crate Challenge and said in a statement Friday the challenge was, quote, publicizing a dangerous activity. And obviously you're stacking those milk crates. It's not going to end well whatsoever, so it's a good thing. Yeah, sometimes social media got to step up and take care of business.
Yeah.
Speaking of taking care of business, final check in sports.
Well, the Tigers did just that, a big 46-0 shutout win to open up their season.
Danny, thank you. Nick, final check of that forecast.
A little break from the heat. At least we'll be out of the 90s for the next few days. 89 tomorrow. Again, 88, 89. You can argue either way Monday and Tuesday. Thanks to rain chances on the way, but once they clear out, back into the 90s we go starting Wednesday.
All right, Nick, Danny, thank you. And that's our time for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Thanks for making us part of your night.
Salon services provided.